Tomoko, me, come to alive for experiencing love. Yeah. I'm from Japan originally, and all my ancestor is also from Japan. Yeah, but a long time in my life, I never feeling I'm fit in Japan. I was very big woman, and since when I was child, and my skin was a little bit tan, not like the normal Japanese woman. They are more white, and they prefer being white. But my hands, even here, more darker, and my shape is also not like any other family even. My sister was very thin and then small, typical Japanese woman. But me, different. And then many people, many children call me Africa, Africa, Africa. So one day even my sister said to my mother, Mom, please take my sister to go back to her real country, Africa, right? Jokingly, of course. Once I went to the Hawaii, people treat me like a local. They even give me the local price, even though I said, no, I'm Japan, I can pay the tourist price. They said, no, you're Hana. The people accept me more naturally. Yeah, so since when I was a child, I don't know where to fit in. And then now I'm living in Morocco. I don't feel that I'm fitting fully, but I just feel this is the place. When I was baby, I was always living near the mountains. And yes, lots of spirits over there. But I didn't realize that I was playing with spirits when I was sleeping, until the last year when I was meditating, in the study group. And wow, I saw the vision, the many spirits coming and hey, Tomoko, and I was so happy. And I remember that all of my life I do that, while I am sleeping. One of my past lives, I used to be the shaman in Northern Ireland, and then I was teaching like natural therapy stuff for the students. I do remember what I was doing. Even in Hawaii, I was always connecting with the nature, with my voice. Yeah, so maybe the lots of experience in my past lives. Yeah, my mother, she's actually very communist. She just believes what you can see. She is thinking, but she's always using the intuition. I think her father's side is coming from Shaman in Siberia. So she's sometimes acting so weird. For example, like, I gotta move house. Really now? No, we don't need, we okay. No, we gotta do. And then she create a house next to our old house. And then she even tried to move that all furniture by herself. You know that? And guess what? Some years later, she did really right choose, Yeah. So she's very, very spiritual, but she don't believe such a stuff in here. When I was 17 years old, I lost my father. I think I got lost myself, I even didn't understand why we are living here, because my father was all his life struggling, working so hard. But he's always with like a sickness. He was very weak all the time. But he passed away when he was only 42 years old. Like boom, I got lost. I loved him so much, but I just didn't understand why people's going like this way. Then why the people born on this planet. Then I met the one spiritual guide. He was my first teacher of the spiritual stuff. He just taught me about reincarnation. So I didn't understand fully, but I thought that's making sense because the death is like going to another room. Then I can understand, maybe my father just shifted to his room for the next lifetime. Then I started learning about stuff, Edgar Casey or something like that, New Age stuff. Then one day I realized that I need to be living in near the nature because my school at the time was technology. Yeah, I was learning about the electricity, but I never felt yet fitting. So I decided to change the school even. So anyway, I went to the veterinary school and then becoming the veterinary, even in the government. I was working for the government 4 years. It was good experience. But one day I realized that I want to have a cows. Then the guy who has cows a lot came to my life and we're talking about marriage already. Okay, something like that. We never had a date even. But we got married and becoming dairy farmers, 9 years. And at that time, I also working for the cows, many cows, almost 300 cows there, including a small one, 13 dogs, and 6 cats, only animals I was with, except my husband, you know. So in that time, I experienced many spiritual stuff. Yeah, that place is very unique place. We call like a sacred area. Even we had a very sacred forest behind. It's very darkness. We say in energy, like a negative energy. In such a forest, the animals get the wound going there and just sitting still, recovering. You understand? So in energy is just like a healing, but not good for the business or something. You understand? So I encountered many such stuff during me being a dairy farmers. But our business was not so good. And I realized that I need to learn about more spiritual stuff. Yeah. Then one day we met a very problem with the cows. Lots of sickness and many cows going down so quick. And I was giving them many antibiotics or just normal, the medicine stuff. But they're gone. Then one day I saw the one cow and she gave me the message, telepathic way, don't bother. And I told my husband, she said she doesn't need to care. Why don't we try not to do anything? And he just, no, you're just being lazy or blah. But we did so many stuff, but still they're going. And the next morning she survived. Yeah, then I realized that what's happening. Then later I heard about animal communication. Maybe I did animal communication. I tried to learn more about animal communication or healing or something. And one day I just saw that one small cow had flowers like here. And I saw even the colors. What's this? And it was the chakras, actually. Yeah, I saw the chakras. Okay, at the starting. And I met the book who wrote about energy healing. She's from the United States and Miami. She had a school there. And I look at the books, just the beginning, and I close the book. I go to school. The reason why I got interested, it's in the beginning. She had experience in the forest. because she was living in the very countryside in the United States. Her friends only trees and animals. Yeah, she went to the forest and she even saw the aura of the trees or animals, and she sometimes trying to be hiding and trying to talk to the trees or animals. That was exactly I was doing in the forest when I was farmer. So this is my experience. Then I got so interested what she was doing. However, at that time, we are so suffering about money, financial. Even the 50 euro per month for telephone, we had a problem. And the school is very expensive, 20,000 euro or something. Yeah, for everything for a year. Yeah, because they opened the school, very expensive hotel and airfare or anything. So it's impossible at the time. But I just decided, I go. No matter what, I go. And then how age I will be, I go 70 years, 75 years old, I don't care. At the time I was 42. And I closed the books and I just focusing on the daily life. And guess what? It happened 2 hours later. 2 hours later. Yeah, I got divorced. We finished business, and one day I got experienced my heart fully open with the sound of the crystal balls, like a boom, and just the tears coming like blah. And when I went back to the my house, I talked to my mom. Mom, I want to learn what I really want to learn. I want to go to the United States, this school. And then she said, okay, but we don't have so much money for that. And then coincidentally, she was on, how should I say English, trial, about the legacy of her second husband. She was fighting with his son, 3 years. But the once I declared to my mom, I want to go to this school, and the trial finished. Yeah, and the money come, and I was able to be there. Spirituality, we human beings all have a physical body, and also heart like a soul we call, and a spiritual spirit like other spirit. So spirituality for me is like to know who you really are and to remember what you really are, not the who, what. So some people say even the light or something like that. But for me, it's like to feel something. You cannot see these eyes, but you feel here or here. Many people in this world had a misconception. For example, me, now I'm using my vocal, right? But when I was a kid, my mom told me, you're not a good singer. So my mind believes I'm not a good singer. You understand?
Yeah.
But connecting with my spirit, I sing a beautiful song, right? So to learn what we believe is not the really truth, it's helping, I believe. Yeah. Sometimes people believe this is good. Yeah, for example, money. When I ask many people what you want, many people said money. And many people believe that money is a very useful tool to make your dreams becoming true. But it's not true, right? Yeah, because when I decided to go to the healing school, I don't care about much money so much, but I knew I have to go. But I never wished, please give me money to go to school. but I just focusing on the what I really want. It's just a simple, but not so easy. Just to follow your heart. Since I was 17 years old, I tried to follow inner voice is coming from my heart until me becoming 42. So I took like almost 25 years old to make it sure this is correct, you know. This 25 years, not so easy. You know, I met the guy in Australia. He's not a really good guy, you know. I helped him so much financially, a lot. But anyway, he's gone. The many my friends, my family said, no, Tomoko, you should leave him. But here, say to me, love him, help him. Okay? I go to ATM, withdraw money, and then buy him the air ticket or something. I know I was not the right, but here says you should do this. Okay, okay. You know, it's not so easy. Try to talk to your heart. Yeah, it may take longer time until you get the right answer because so many years you close and shut down on your heart, door to heart. Heart is always like a, come on. But many people shut down the door, so many layers, even the some of them in the chain and locked so firmly, you know. And they feel the opening heart is so painful. But the heart never get hurt. But the door, sometimes you feel the pain to open the doors. So you need to be patient. But connecting with your heart is the answer. Some people, for example, just coming back to this planet, so shocked. I think you too. You know, what? You know, in there, we got so excited. Oh, we can go back to Mother Earth again, and we can experience darkness again, chaos. But there is a oneness, and it come back here. It's a duality. People fighting, so many rubbish, and so many disaster. So even the sensitive person got so hurt to see the world. Nature is so beautiful, but the human beings, what are they doing, you know? Then shut down the door again, and then see the reality again, shut down the door, watching the TV, so much violent, shut down the door, something like that. But this is also the, how should I say, plan of your soul. Because the reason why God created us, they want us to experience the process from darkness to the light. So we came from the light, and here is so much darkness over here. And we just won't experience darkness and violence and fighting or so many stuff. And then to be back to the light. And in there, you can remember what you really are. But here, we got lost. So it's just okay. Yeah, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, even the 1,000 years ago, we always fighting, right? Because for surviving. But look, it's getting better. Better. Look, only 50 years ago, for our Japanese people to go abroad is not so easy. Yeah, like Germany. We lost everything in World War II, right? But now look, people so happy, freedom. Even the many African black people, now freedom. But only 100 years ago, 150 years ago, they're just becoming slaves, right? You know, for me, like the life is like this, spiral. If you see the circle from up there, going to the same way, but if you see that this way, it's going up. It's up to you, you know, to see the world. Yeah, but for me, it's shifting up. Yeah. I just remember how I was wishing in there. I feel that there are so many interviews, because many spirits said, no, you don't need to go back to the earth, you have learned so many stuff. But I want to go back. I met many interviews over there. But the many spirits stopped me. Tomoko, you don't need to go back there. I don't think that Tomoko name is there, but they just stopped me. But I eager to come back here. We, you and me wanted to come here so much. Yeah. And then some even told me before, the spirits come back to this planet is so brave. Because, like I said, this is so much darkness yet. Brave and more serious, maybe the unfortunate stuff will help. For example, you become very sick. You can't see others, right? You can't feel going out. You just feel, holding the pain stuff in it, be in the bed. At the time, the great chance to connect with yourself. Yeah, so when you have a really, really broken heart with love or something, you also come to yourself, right? So that's why we need darkness and problems, many in our life. People cannot be, how should I say, so easily connecting our heart within ourselves only with the happy stuff. Yeah. When we are happy, like, I'm okay, our mind is always up in there and up there. But when you feel so lonely or feel so sad, you becoming like this, right? So now it's a great time to connect with your heart. That's why I say that when I lost my father, I just totally lost. And I ask even there and here, why we come back to this planet? What for? We dying, we're going away, and why we still alive? I question myself. Then answer come. Each moment, for example, before going to bed, what time should I wake up next morning? Or in the breakfast, what do I want? Eat here. Sometimes instant noodles. Really? Instant noodle in the early morning? It's not healthy. But I want it. Even the 2 bowls, big amount. Okay, and follow. And then eventually I understand. I need this power or something. Even the putting on the shoes, I ask myself, right foot, left foot? Something like that. Each step I ask here, and I follow. It's I believe the becoming also the following the God's will. And I believe the God is not there only here. So, but we need to practice each moment. Yeah. When I went to the healing school, the teacher was doing exactly I was doing, and I just got the answer. Oh, I was right. I thought I was too weird. I'm crazy, but I had no choice because always here is right. But look at the many teachers. Oh, I was okay. What you see outside, what you have inside. Yeah. So even though you're facing the problem, it's the time to reflect on me. Yeah, that's a great lesson I learned. Yeah, and it's so true. Even I ask myself, this is the final destination. One day I ask myself, when I go back to Japan. My life only 3 months left. What would I would do? Then I want to go back tomorrow. Yeah. So still I'm questioning myself, still same answer, even though I sometimes not happy fully being here because I'm missing my friends and food, family too much. And I feel so lonely over here sometimes. But questioning again, if you have a 3 months life expansive, what do you do, Tomoko? I'll be here. Yeah. So the answer not to change yet. But I'm not sure about the next year and 3 years later though. I'm living in a Taznak near the Ouarzazate, which is very center of the Morocco. The reason why I'm there is very near the desert. Very close to the village, to the desert. It's too hot for me, for my cats too. And Taznak is very interesting place. Anyway, I've got a really nice home there, renting though, and my cat's so happy. And I'm so happy too. But it's very isolated. Sometimes I feel so lonely. I never had in here, because once I go to cafe, I see some people, hey, Tomoko. But that's countryside. It's not so easy to make a friends. You have to try. Yeah. But, the energy of there is so beautiful. So at the moment, I'm satisfied in there. And I easy to try to connect with the spirits of land over there. And they sometimes invite me some another places, through my friends. His name is Omar. He's like a channeler, Tomoko, we should go there. Okay. Follow him. And there's another very sacred village over there. And I feel so much spirits. So my main mission at the moment in my life is to connect with the spirits of the nature and then try to connect with them because they got cut off the communication with the human beings because human beings don't hear and they don't speak to them, don't respect them. So they got so even the frustrated now, and then some of the spirits even told me like, don't bother. I don't respect the human beings anymore. I don't want to be close. The village is closed, shut down, and some oases in the desert even closed. Yeah. So I apologize to them, like for the human beings. I have a stronger connection, even the experience from my past lives, to connect with the spirits. But some people more better than connect with the aliens or something. I never seen the aliens. My partner looks like aliens though. Actually, his name Ali Energy. His name is include alien.
Sure.
Yeah. But anyway, that's joking. But there's some people very talented connecting with more like higher self stuff. But the me case, more spirits on this earth. Yeah. That it's just about what you are good at. Some people very good at connecting nature stuff, like me, especially animals. But some people very good at connecting with the minerals, like stones, even, or plants, even stars, even human beings, even money. So that's a gift, right? I don't think everybody should connect with the spirits of the Mother Earth, nature, but we should more respect them, right? Because you will understand. all the nature beings, the sharing. Yeah, I can say this story about Japan. Last year, wild bear was having lots of problem. They come to the human village, and the humans got so scared and they tried to kill them. And they think they don't have a food in the forest anymore. But from my eyesight, comparing to the forest in Morocco, they have a lot of food in Japan forest. That's not true, I thought. Then one very spiritual woman, originally from Russia, her grandmother, also shaman. I shared this story and she just replied to me, these bears, trying to be like committing suicidal, because too many bears in the forest. But now we don't have so many, the
Predators.
hunter. So they did do that to protect the forest. Then now, that's making sense, because the bears, almost all bears is like a vegetarian, They don't eat humans, right? Even the deers or something, they are becoming kind of the suicidal, but it's a natural reducing the protect the nature. But the human beings don't remember this system, right? Yeah, this is a problem. Yeah, just to try to connect with your heart, Yeah, I also feel lots of frustration to look at the many disasters in this world, but I cannot do anything with this. When I was 20s, 30s, I had so much power physically, but now I'm almost 60s, and I'm still struggling in fitting in Morocco physically. But at least I can look back myself. And then, like I said, what you see outside is coming from what I have inside. Okay, now I'm trying to do is creating the peace in me. Feminine side and masculine side fell in love with each other. Because all my life is fighting. My mother and father is fighting so much since when I was baby. And I realized that that's fighting in me. So now I'm trying to be having peace in me. And gradually, what I see is changing actually. Yeah, it's very slowly, but totally different. Yeah. Mainly my clients is Japanese people because I think that Japan is, how should I say, not me, many spiritual leader is telling that Japan is a very spiritual country and then taking leadership to make the people the more spiritual way. So I see, so that's why next 200 years Japan is going to be more down, not anymore. So, and committing suicide is very, very, increasing. Why? Because people suffering. So that's why I'm trying to help them from here. It's funny, when I am in Japan, I cannot do the session, but here I can do. Yeah, so using horoscope or stuff and something, but the talking, and then try to sometimes wake up. What you believe is not truth. And then they just, what? But that they hear, it's so true. And for me, being this area, including Mauritania or, Morocco, I'm becoming more who I am. But in Japan, I was too much caring others. Yeah, actually, when I'm sleeping alone in Japan, sometimes I hear the voice shoutly like, help me! What? It's not, practically. It's coming from like this. Maybe this is from me, but I felt this is somebody's, you know. So the many people energetically that try to the Tomoko like this in Japan. I cannot be me there, there. But here, sometimes too lonely, but I can feel me and I can connect with me easily, you know. And I feel like, boom.